ready for another lesson?
Are we playing the song?
Yeah, I can.
All right, give me 1 second.
Do you want me to, when I point to you, is that me cueing you in to start? Or cueing
All right,
you in to let you know that the song has started?
I'll tell you. All right, I'm good to go. So we can play it whenever, and then just when you point to me is when I'll start talking. So whenever
Got
you
it.
think is a good time for me to jump in.
Fair enough. All right.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. Boy, do I hope that lined up, because I could not hear that song at all. Thank you, Nathaniel, for giving me that cue. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Back Row Banter. In this week's episode, we have only one news story in the news, and it's Vin Diesel trying to make amends with The Rock. No trailer talk this week. The new to streaming list is a big week for Disney+, but light in other places. We'll get to what we're watching, of course, and then our main review for the episode is Eternals. But before we get to any of that, I'm joined today by Nebuchadnezzar Nathaniel Gingrich.
Hello. And Adam, I have a confession. We did line up the theme song well, but unfortunately, when you started speaking, I accidentally bumped the button again, and it was a hard stop rather than our normal glorious fade out, so I have to apologize to the listeners for the abruptness there.
You know, it is a little disappointing because of how hot I was coming in off that intro, but you know, it happens, and we're just gonna roll with it.
That being said, Nebuchadnezzar, probably one of my favorite of the nicknames. Yeah.
Wasn't that your nickname in England?
It was one of them, yes. That based off a family joke that both of me and my brother are N names that are found in the Bible. But if there was going to be a third brother, they always joked that there was going to have to be named them Nebuchadnezzar, because otherwise there'd be no more N names. So
I see.
Then they liked that joke and they took on, and yeah, it became Nebby, Neza, and that's where the beginning of
Nathaniel
of Nizza became, or one of the origins of that.
Origins.
We love a good origin story.
True.
Also
Yes,
joining
we
us
do.
today, it's Thanatos Tyler Vidalis.
Yeah, that's me.
Do you know who Thanatos is?
Spanish
I
Thanos.
don't know which it is.
It's the god of death from Greek mythology.
Indeed. We're going with the God theme this week.
I get it.
I wonder why.
I'm there.
Even though I don't think Nebuchadnezzar is a god.
Yeah, not a god, but Babylon, and it was close enough.
Hey, we'll
You
go
know,
with it. Ancient.
historical term.
Mythological.
Isn't that the same name of the
Yeah.
Matrix ship?
That's also true, which is why I enjoy it as well. R.I.P. Morpheus.
So many good reasons.
I'm good.
And
It might
rounding out
sound a little different. Sorry.
A little clearer.
Yeah. I'm in person. I'm in the office this week.
Yeah.
Down at headquarters.
Back
Flew
Row
in last
Banter
night.
offices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, typically I hold it down here at Back Row HQ, obviously.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
like I'm like
Waz working the night shifts.
I'm like Mike and It, if you follow that. I still here
Right.
and keep the
Right.
the lighthouse. But yeah, Tyler has visited and is in person, so
Amazing. It's been a while since any of us were with Nathaniel. I don't
It's
think
true.
this is the first time since I left for school that I think we've had at least 2 people in person.
Yeah,
Could
you
be
might be right.
And that sultry voice over there, rounding out the squadron, is Big Berkeley's BlakeHolder.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. It's impressive that we're able to get something with big and then something to go with it every time.
I do my best. I do
Yeah.
my best. I felt like Berkeley's honestly might be a better name than Hercules.
I like to think it's also Bjerkules. And it's
Ah,
just
you could do
Blake
Hercules.
with just 40 ounces in his hands. Going wild.
No, that's Edward 40 hands.
Yeah, I was like, that might be a Halloween costume.
Yeah. or a one-way ticket to alcoholism. We'll stay tuned.
Or alcohol poisoning, for that matter.
Oh yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
Again,
Drink
stay
responsibly,
tuned.
ladies and gentlemen.
Of course, of course. How was your week, Blake?
Good, man. Good. Pretty long, but not too bad. Able to do some things, and not much, man. Not much. How was yours?
Busy?
Yeah.
It'll stay
Semester
busy.
winding down.
Nope. It's heating up a little bit.
Hmm.
Got 4 weeks left, I think, and then finals, and
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah, Thanksgiving break in between. A lot of things to catch up on. I don't know. It's just I'm hitting my wall in the semester right as like I got to start crunching down, but we'll
Right.
get it done. I always do.
Hmm.
All right, well, we can get on into the news here, guys. It is a little bit late as we're recording this, so it might be a
So
little
late.
briefer of an episode than y'all are used to, but we're going to do our best to give you all of your entertainment goodness. So, first up in the news this week, and I guess the only news story, so it will be Vin Diesel has asked Dwayne Johnson to return to Fast and Furious via an Instagram post, which was odd,
Yeah,
which I saw
I saw this
and laughed so hard. I was like, what is going on? What world do you live in? Also, did Vin Diesel tweet this or did Dominic Toretto tweet this? Because really, I couldn't tell you.
Well,
This feels like it could have come out of straight of Dom's like mouth.
The line gets
way you
blurry,
word
so at some points,
Yeah, the
doesn't
line
it,
does
on-
get blurred. I'm sure it's
so-
blurred for him too. But yeah, Vin Diesel took to Instagram to beg, plead. I don't make amends. I don't know how you really want to interpret this, but he's basically asking Dwayne Johnson to come back as Hobbs in Fast 10. So his Instagram post included a picture of both of them with the caption being, "My little brother Dwayne, the time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. There's not a holiday that goes by that they and you don't send well wishes. But the time has come. Legacy awaits. I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo. I swore that we would reach and manifest the best Fast in the finale that is 10. I say this out of love, but you must show up. Do not leave the franchise. Idle. You have a very important role to play. Hobbs can't be played by no other. I hope that you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny." Put that in the history books as like one of the most beautiful things
Hilarious.
I've ever read. It goes Shakespeare, Vin Diesel in that order.
AKA Fast 9
what a
didn't
poet.
make that much money. We need you to come back.
AK, please. Interesting way to try and apologize, I guess.
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever.
Again, it's so hard to tell what he wants with this. I don't know if he's begging him to come back, apologizing, all of the above. I really don't know.
Well, he's kind of all over the place with it.
He
Isn't he?
really is.
He changes whether he's kind of goading him / bullying him /
Or blaming
begging.
him or
Yeah.
or yeah, it's so weird.
putting the onus upon him.
Yeah. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson responded to the Hollywood Reporter saying, "I laughed and I laughed hard. I think everyone had to laugh at that, and I'll leave it at that. And
Yikes.
that I've wished them well. I wish them well on Fast 9, and I wish them the best of luck on Fast 10 and Fast 11 and the rest of the Fast and Furious movies they do that will be
Yeah.
without me."
Yikes.
So, declined, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't even get to a fucking Fast 11, right? So that's
I think
my
they
2
said they're
cents.
ending it at 11, haven't they?
I have no idea.
That was the long-term agreement, but
Yeah. I think they
Vin
should try to
Diesel
end it at
owns
10
everything now,
personally.
so we'll
Please
see
end at
if,
10.
if he actually stops.
If anyone is listening to this, please.
I still
Vin,
don't think
buddy.
it's. I don't
Go ahead,
think it's.
Nathaniel.
I don't think it's impossible that they get The Rock back for this.
I don't think it
I
is
don't
either.
think so either.
It
This
all
could be like a huge marketing thing.
it will all depend on the public's perception. You know, if Dominic Toretto, aka Vin Diesel, at some point gets the public to come around to believing that Hobbs needs to be in the franchise and there's enough goodwill behind that, I think that means more dollar signs at the end of the day.
Is there a reason Hobbs needs to be in this finale?
Is there a reason there needs to be this finale?
True. Yeah, true.
I don't know. I think the character of Hobbs balances off of the character of Toretto well, and is like a pretty good anchor from kind of the past good parts of the franchise. Now, I think kind of especially with the lacking the Paul Walker character at this point, you are just kind of you don't have that many people that are around from the beginning anymore. So
sure, no, that definitely makes sense. I don't know. I agree with you. I think if they brought back Hobbs for this finale, it'd be good, and I think it would help take some of the weight off of Vin Diesel's shoulders as far as like carrying the movie as a main character.
Dom,
right? He doesn't have Paul.
Dom needs a foil, and now there is no foil at the moment to him.
It was kind of John Cena in F9.
I think that's what they're trying to set up and what they were hoping for. But yeah, Dom needs to have some sort of foil to play off of, because otherwise Dom's sense of masculine family doesn't comes off as cloying rather than purposeful or something to balance against.
Yeah.
I'm glad one of us was able to throw that family in there. Like we had to let that word out. Talking about Fast 9.
La Familia.
I mean, when he drops it, I mean, is it in the first sentence of that post?
It says, "My little brother Dwayne, the time has come."
Okay, so
close.
yeah, I'm gonna
Very
take half
close.
credit there.
My favorite part is, as you know, my children refer to you as Uncle
Oh
Dwayne
man,
in my
that
house.
is insane.
Gets pretty brutal.
And then what is the next line?
There's not a holiday that goes by that they and you don't send well wishes, but the time has come.
I'd like to know what those well wishes are and what holidays
knows?
they're on.
What those
What
cards
holidays
look like.
qualify, do you think? Do they say Happy Halloween to each other?
I don't know. What does that look like? A holiday card between The Rock and Vin
I
Diesel?
don't think they've ever.
There isn't any.
I highly doubt it. I
Overall
really
percentage
highly doubt
chance
it.
any of them have ever called him Uncle Dwayne.
Oh yeah, no, very little percent chance, man. Maybe this is just a publicity stunt for Vin Diesel's new album.
One can only hope.
I really don't
Oh,
hope it
well, The
is.
Rock was
Maybe
was
they'll have
rapping
it
to
do
Featuring
somebody's
Dwayne,
album.
he's doing a feature with him.
I mean,
Ah,
or
guys,
worst
crack
case,
the code.
worst case scenario, he could release a diss track.
Oh shit!
He's got no.
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
That'd be one for the ages. Vin Diesel and The Rock diss track
Rap feud.
exchange.
Just no.
Yeah.
What?
No,
Come on, man.
Didn't The Rock
No.
release a song like?
Don't you love
Yeah,
Moana?
he was featured on. It was either his own song or he was featured on somebody's
Yeah.
song.
And it wasn't bad. It was. I remember listening to it. I don't remember
Yeah.
it being bad.
I've seen
I didn't-
Moana. I know.
Okay. Cool.
It's literally all it is. He sounds exactly like
It's
he
gotta be,
sounds
right?
in Moana. He's like talk singing.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, we can move on from this news story. Fast 10 is set currently for an April 7th, 2023 release date. So we'll see if The Rock shows up.
I'm still holding out. I think there's a chance.
Oh, there is a chance. I'm sure. Maybe if they pay him enough.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, well, that's it for news. No trailer talk this week, so we can get right into your favorite list of the week. It's Adam Schwartz's completely subjective new to streaming list for the week of November 7th through the 13th. To Netflix, we're getting Animal Season 1. This is a nature documentary series narrated by Bryan Cranston.
I'm in.
So if you want a little nature doc and you want some
I'm
Bryan
in.
Cranston, let's go for it.
For some-
Also coming to Netflix, speaking of The Rock, Red Notice. This is an action thriller starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. We did a trailer talk for this, I believe, about a month ago.
I do remember that.
Yes.
Completely forgot
So-
about it in the meantime.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, that's not even
I have
ringing
not
a
thought
bell.
about
so
it
doesn't sound
since we did
promising.
Yeah. I mean, sure. If you're really that bored,
Netflix movies are just might be the most hot and cold things
Yeah.
I come across. Like that the Western, the all black cast Western supposed to be
yeah,
amazing.
Harder they
Harder They Fall, I believe it's
Oh,
called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be amazing. This looks like dog shit. Like it is
Right,
just either amazing or absolutely the worst thing in the world.
Don't sleep on Project Power, dude.
I wonder if they're just like it's everyone's B script that they just like had in a drawer sitting around for years that they finally punched up, and Netflix is like, hey, I'll give you $100,000 for this, and they're like, yeah, of course, finally someone will buy this.
Oh my god. All right, well that's it for Netflix. To Amazon Prime, we're getting Mayor Pete. This is a Amazon original documentary about Pete Buttigieg. That's new, coming to Amazon Prime. That's it there. Hulu is getting Star Trek Into Darkness. This is the second of the 3.
Sweet.
Featuring Zachary Quinto, of course, and Benedict Cumberbatch as
Eli
Khan.
Roth.
Yeah, Eli Roth could be. We don't know.
Hilarious.
That's it for Hulu. Nothing coming to HBO Max. And then Disney Plus has a pretty solid-ish lineup this week. Coming back is going to be Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So that is
cool.
officially on the platform off of the... Actually, I don't think that one came to the paywall. I think that was the first one that was exclusively in theaters. So, but now it's on Disney Plus after the 45 days. So you got that there. Jungle Cruise, same thing, coming back to Disney Plus. That one did have the premiere access on Disney Plus, so that one is coming back. And then we're getting season 2 of The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
A lot of people like this.
Disney Plus launched.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but there was a lot of people that actually like this.
I've watched half of the first season, maybe one episode more than half, and it was good. Not great, not like, oh, go watch this, but if you like Jeff Goldblum or like his personality, it's just more of that, and he's just kind of going around like talking about things he's interested in, and you kind of learn a little bit about these random things. There's an episode on ice cream. There's an episode on sneaker culture. There's an episode, I think, on jeans. It's random topics, but it's Jeff Goldblum. He's fun, and he makes it fun. So it's decent. I mean, if you like Jeff Goldblum, you'll probably like this.
If you had to choose between that and the swear words one with Nicolas Cage, which one are you going? Gun to your head, gun to your balls.
Probably the Jeff Goldblum one.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I can only take one quirky man on a streaming service at a time, so
fair enough. All right, and then also coming to Disney Plus, Under the Helmet: The Legacy of Boba Fett. This is an all-new documentary special that celebrates the origins and legacy of Star Wars legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett. So if you want to prep for the Book of Boba Fett, you got that there. And then you also have Marvel assembled the making of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So this is, again, kind of their third behind-the-scenes series that they've been doing ever since WandaVision came out, I believe. So you have a little behind-the-scenes on Shang-Chi, and then you have Marvel Studios' Legends, Hawkeye. Again, this is then their series where they kind of recap a character, what they've been through in the MCU. Kind of, I think they go into the more of a history of like in the comic books as well, but you can get an idea of who Hawkeye is and a refresher before his TV show starts November 27. I don't know. November 24th.
Gotcha.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks from today.
Dang.
Or tomorrow.
Bit of
I
sizzle.
misspoke. Bit of sizzle. Yeah, so that's going to be it for your new streaming list. Go ahead and give any of those a watch if you're interested. But we watched things we were interested this past week. Nathaniel, what interesting thing did you watch?
Oh, my interesting thing? Let's see. Maybe I have one or two interesting things.
I want the least interesting thing you watched first.
Okay, fair enough.
Daniel's like, it was a video tutorial on how to check your prostate.
Whoa.
I mean, that was fascinating. No, I was going to go with, like, our own YouTube channel or something. But then you know, that would imply that I watched our channel. Or somebody did.
I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Go subscribe on YouTube. It's just Back Row Banter.
Please.
Please. So I got the Knives Out Obviously I've seen that one before, but
Ooh.
always a good for a rewatch, I think. I think that's one you can throw on just about any time during the year, but it's a good fall one as well.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So yeah, it's been as we've been kind of talking about a little bit on the pod, I think the weather's changing a little bit more here. We had some really cold days the last couple days, and then it actually switched around a little bit. So I felt like it was a good time to break that one out. I also got to, not a lot this week actually. I had a day that I did a double feature. So one was I watched Eternals for the podcast this week. And then the other thing I got to was the My Hero Academia new movie that came out, World Heroes Mission. And that was really cool. There's always a certain amount of like, I always say that movies are kind of, how long you can suspend your disbelief. And with those movies that are tied into anime shows or series that are always taking place outside the main canon storyline, I feel like you always go in with a certain amount of that disbelief already, eaten up, just because everything's going to have to like kind of go back to status quo so that the rest of the canon is not affected by the end of the movie. And I feel like it's always a lot of like, the gang goes somewhere, an event happens, it has to solve itself, and then they come back, and you can kind of just hand wave it away by saying they went on a trip or something like that in between episodes, which is basically exactly what happens. But, as a example of that genre, if you want to say, it's a pretty good version of that. It looked really good, so I saw it in the sub, which I've actually seen most of that show in the dub, which was a little bit different, but was still good. I've been watching a lot of a YouTube series called Gamey Game, which is a kind of panel show with a group of every week there's like a group of or a different series of comedians that come on and they review video games that come out, and just a good show to kind of have on in the background on YouTube and everything, and just kind of when you're doing things around the house, have that going, or if winding down late at night before bed, something to just have on there and just kind of hang out. Got a couple episodes further in Ash vs. the Evil Dead. Always enjoying that. Getting pretty close to the end of season 2. Definitely. I'll finish the series, so definitely excited for that. And we actually started Waz and I another series. I don't know, Tyler, do you ever remember the series called Eureka?
It sounds familiar.
Blake, you might have heard of it too. It was on the actual Sci-Fi Channel in like the mid-thousands, and the kind of premises is that there's a town in the Pacific Northwest where the government has secretly stashed all of like the famous scientists of the world. So like the guys that worked on the Manhattan Project, the Einsteins, the Oppenheimers, all of them, and like hidden their families and their descendants, and they just all hang out in this one town and work on super secret stuff, and that's it. But they have a sheriff who's just a normal guy, and it's him kind of trying to have to deal with life in this crazy town, and it's a pretty lighthearted but also kind of easy to watch thing. So we watched the pilot last night, and to be honest with you, I didn't think I'd enjoy it that much, but I was pleasantly surprised by the end of it. It's not any great, genre pushing art form or something like that, but it's a pretty good example of, better than a cut above. And I think I have a special soft spot in my heart for those kind of like mid-thousands crime procedural kind of rip-offs, Monster of the Week type deals that are always like came out of Canada and were on the Sci-Fi Channel at different times. So yeah, it was I think we'll watch more of that. But I'm trying to think if I got to anything else this week. I started watching Succession again. I watched the first episode with my brother probably about 6 months ago, I guess, maybe it was closer to a year. I can't remember. But then obviously I think season 3 has recently started of that series, and I wanted to give it a shot again, and so I did. and I'm about 5 episodes in and enjoying it.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Any of you guys heard about that or interested in it at all?
I've heard very good things.
Gotcha.
I just have not gotten around to it, but maybe I will soon.
Yeah,
Maybe
I definitely think you would like it, Adam.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
Popcorn, Tyler, because you're here in the room with me.
Whoa.
I know.
That's based, bro.
I
So
feel like
based.
I got to a lot. I guess, I don't know. There's like 5 main things that I can like remember. So we'll just go ahead and finish off. Leah and I finished You. Big season finale. Pretty dope. I'm still in on that show. We also finished Manifest. Well, at least caught up. Manifest and You both still have stuff going on. So, but we are caught up. Both are done with season 3 now. So that has been fun as well.
So
how did you end up? Where do you land on Manifest now that you're caught up?
I still think, if you haven't watched it and you're looking for something to get into, it's still worth checking out. It's not like the greatest piece of television I've ever seen, but I still like it.
Okay. Blake, sorry to cut you off. What were you gonna say?
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I cut you off. We love Discord, everybody. All right, continue on, Tyler.
Leah and I actually got to a couple movies this weekend.
What?
So we got to Beauty and the Beast live action.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my god, I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. Beauty and the Beast is probably one of my all-time favorite like old Disney movies.
Okay.
And yeah, this is one of the ones that I think is a live action that just absolutely knocks it out of the park.
Is this your favorite of the remakes?
I don't know,
Okay.
but it's definitely up there
Okay.
for sure. So yeah, that was definitely my pick, but that's always really fun to go back to, and super cute.
I feel like that's not a common opinion. Like I feel like the movie's more disliked than it is liked.
Probably.
Am I wrong?
Probably.
Like,
I honestly
think of
don't
the
know.
General
I really don't know. I didn't.
sphere?
This is not one that I like overly did a bunch of research on like if people liked it or not. Usually, I guess I'm fairly versed in that, but
Fair enough.
I just did not look it up.
Listeners, write in. What do you think about
Yeah, what do
Beauty
you
and the
think?
Beast?
Tell me what you think. I won't
Emma
care,
Watson.
but I'll appreciate you writing in.
Yeah, we want to know we don't want to know your opinion. We want to know the lay of the land on this.
Yeah.
I want to be clear on this. We want to know what society thinks of Beauty and the Beast.
So yeah, that was always really fun. Leah picked out Bad Teacher, which is
with
always
Cameron
hilarious.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Siegel.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That is Jason Segel,
yeah.
isn't it?
So
They made a TV series
Justin
out of
Timberlake's in there as well.
yeah, JT's in it as well.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a douche.
That's kind of who he played at the beginning of his career, if you remember.
Yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, that was really fun. That movie is actually a lot raunchier than what I remembered.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Maybe we're just getting old.
I'm in. It's a great movie. Still funny as shit.
Definitely.
As soon as we were done with that, we watched another movie. So we also kind of had a little double feature.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And we got to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Volume 1 or Volume 2?
Ooh,
sir?
no.
Ah.
And I still like that movie.
I think it falls down a little bit in the third act for me. I don't think the climax is very good.
I agree.
But overall, yeah, it's one that like it sets the tone immediately and you're just on board.
Yeah, I just love it.
Which we may be talking about again later tonight.
I think
Who
it's
knows?
real nice.
Bit of sizzle.
I think it's real nice.
It's real nice, Clark.
And then the other thing that I was just kind of watching in passing, or like if I'm cleaning something and I want something on in the background, Vikings still. I've just been cruising along on that. So, and I did update Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I did log in.
I thought about that game and you playing that game, and I wondered recently if you had gotten back
It's
into
the
that.
season.
If you had gotten back.
It gets cold out, and I just feel like my Norwegian ties, and I just want to be a Viking.
Do you start a fire every time you play?
Yeah,
Just
it's weird. And I started humming shit.
but like deep, like from your gut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like throat singing than it is like a humming.
It's incredible. I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
I feel like I just hear ravens flying over all the time. Like, I don't know, where are these ravens coming from?
Now that concerns me.
That's Odin.
I was on board until the ravens.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have nothing else.
Well, popcorn.
So, any questions, comments, or concerns about what I watched? I don't care. So
I want to know what your next, what your and Leah's next show is going to be.
I don't know. We'll figure it out because she does not like Vikings.
Maybe it.
Does she like ravens?
So yeah, I was gonna say, does she also join in your singing?
No, she's not in.
That's weird.
Yeah. Blake.
Yo.
Let us know what you've been watching.
What's up, Berkey?
Yeah, I didn't get to too much this week. Kind of had a busy week with work and then trying to do some things with home ownership. So that's taken up a ton of time. But I did get to two things. One of them is just like a really BS movie I put on just for like a comfort movie, and I ended up watching Jennifer's Body. And that movie is objectively bad, but it's awesome. So that's something I watched maybe Thursday evening or something after work just to relax.
You know, I've never seen that one. I need to.
Really, dude,
Yeah.
that's such like a cult classic. I guess that's so easy to say
It's
about
like
any movie though. That's definitely a cult classic.
Yeah,
movie.
it's one of those ones that like has come on strong as a cult classic within the last few years.
Dude. It's awesome. It's just watching Megan Fox get possessed and eat boys, and like that's the film.
What's better than that?
Yeah, dude, it's cool. So that's what I watched, kind of a BS comfort movie. And then the other movie I got just from watching Dune, what was that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago? And I always kept mentioning I want to go back and watch Blade Runner 2049. I finally went back and watched that.
Oh, okay.
So, and that was, I like it. I like it. And I know that's Nathaniel's favorite Denny V, and I don't know if I'm that high on it, but I am high on it. And this is my second watch. So that's the first watch, but since I've seen it in theaters though. So that's
Yeah, I haven't seen
like
it
3+
either.
years. Yeah, so it was good, man. Definitely good. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Nathaniel though. I do think that movie looks better than Dune. That's probably his best looking movie.
Yeah.
I think I'll agree with Nathaniel on that.
I think Deakins has a lot to do with that.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's good. That's up there. And funny enough, watching that, I totally forgot Wood Harris is in that movie.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
Yeah, from Paid in Full. But yeah, Wood Harris, he's like a detective, and he's in the scene. I don't know, he's in the movie for fucking maybe 3 scenes.
Isn't he in there with our boy David Dastmalchian? Isn't he in the same scene with him?
Yes, and they're in the same scene, and I forgot Dave was in that too. And I was like, oh my god, yeah. So yeah, that was cool, man. But those are 2 people I totally forgot were in that.
Sure.
And yeah, cool. I remembered what's his name? He's in Dune as well, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Funny enough, because somebody just mentioned that. I'm drawing a blank.
Batista,
yes, thank you. I was gonna get their last names wrong, but yeah, I remembered he was in that. He's in the opening scene. It's like that's one thing I did remember, but definitely forgot the Wood Harris slip in there. So,
Anna de Armas also great in that, and in Knives Out.
Where'd you watch that on, Blake?
HBO Max, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. All right, I might go back to that soon.
Yeah, I mean it's long though. Like that shit took me, it's like 2 hours and 40 something minutes. So
yeah,
I just had a free night. It might have been last Wednesday or something after work. Then I just put it on, but I had to start it at like 7:30. Otherwise, like you know what I mean. I can't put that on at 10 o'clock. There's no.
No chance. So anything after 10 o'clock has to be like 90 minutes or less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got too. Highly recommend if you haven't seen that. And if you have seen it, you probably already know it's a good movie. So we'll pass it on to Adam.
Yeah, I don't have too long of a list here, so I'll start it off with what I watched in my casual free time, because the other 2 things are things I watched for my film class. But I finished the first season. I don't know if there will be another one of Made on Netflix. Have you guys seen anything about this or seen it pop up on Netflix?
Is that a
What's
show
that
or is
about?
that a movie?
It's a show.
No.
Why did I think
It's
this was a movie?
There's probably
I
a
don't know.
movie called Made.
Probably.
Why would they do that?
But it was really good, actually. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's one of the better things I feel like I've seen. It's not like great by any means, but it's one of the better things Netflix has put out. Recently, I would say. But it is about. I guess you could say the whole story is about a single mom, essentially. And so it's kind of like it's the best thing I've seen to like the show essentially answers the question, why don't you just leave when your significant other is being an abuser, or if you're being abused, why don't you just get up and leave, or why
Sure.
don't you take yourself out of that situation? It kind of answers the questions and shows you how actually hard it is to go through something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's 10 episodes, I believe, instead of 8, and I think it should have been 8. It does dip heavy in the middle. So the first like 2 or 3 episodes are really good. Middle, it was just like I don't even want to pay attention right now, and I just got all the information I needed from those episodes. And then 8, 9, and 10 were pretty good as well. So it does dip in the middle. Could have lost an episode or two here or there. But overall, really good. The main actress, I'm gonna go ahead and look up her name because I did not think to bring this up before. But the main actress is great. In the lead, her name would be, if the IMDb would pull up, Margaret Qualley.
Oh yeah,
Qualley.
she's from.
I'm not familiar with her. What else has she been in?
She's in Once Upon
She's
a Time
in
in
Once
Hollywood.
Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, I believe she plays the hippie, right?
Yeah, the
That-
one that's
yeah.
hitchhiking with Brad Pitt.
Pussycat is her character.
Oh yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, so she's been in that. Doesn't look like she's been in a ton of other things I think you guys might have heard of since then.
She's got famous parents.
Is that it? Okay. Well, I don't know the qualities. Regardless, she's great as the lead. The rest of the cast is very typecasted. You got like, your crazy mom, your abuser husband, your, neglectful dad. Like, it was just very typecasted, like run-of-the-mill characters, and she was like really the only standout to me. The rest were like good actors, but it was just like very generic portrayals of those characters in some ways.
Sounds melodramatic.
A little bit. It could be, yeah. But it's not too much. It just like sometimes it's just like, all right. Especially with the actress that plays the mom. Her mom has like mental health issues basically, and she just kind of overdid it. I felt like a lot of the times. But that was just how I looked at it. It also, funny enough, it has simultaneously made me so thankful I never plan on having children, and also so not thankful that I plan on never having children, because the kid that they have in this, she plays like a 3-year-old. I don't know how old she actually is, but she is so cute, and the dynamic they have between Margaret Qualley and the kid is just awesome, and it's so heartwarming to see when they're together, and you can tell they make the character, you can just so clearly tell how much the character really cares about her daughter, and that's like really the one thing she cares about, and she's always so good with her. But it's like also at the same time I see how hard it is to have a girl like that that young in a situation like that. So weird how simultaneously I was like, I want kids but also would never want kids. That was
Right.
fun. Yeah. So yeah, that was really good. I recommend that if anyone's kind of interested, at least maybe check out the first episode or two. Or check out a trailer.
Adam, I think yeah, the mom is her mom in real life, Annie McDowell. That's her
Is it
mom.
really?
Yeah, who is famous.
Oh.
That's the aforementioned famous parent.
I see.
Yeah.
I've never really seen much of what she's in as I'm looking at her IMDb, so that would probably make sense as to why I did not recognize her. But okay, I didn't love her. I'll still stand by my statement. Didn't love her in this. Didn't love her portrayal of that character.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that it was acted poorly. I just didn't like how they portrayed that character, I would say, more or less. But anyway, yeah, definitely check that out if you're interested. Maybe check out a trailer or an episode or two. Very, very good. Let's see. The other thing I got to 2 things for my film class. One was last week's assignment. One was this week's. I got to a movie called Living in Oblivion. Nathaniel, I feel like it's probably the only one who might have seen this.
I have not, so continue and enlighten me. Maybe I'll watch
Yeah,
it.
let me pull up the IMDb here so I can maybe talk about it a little bit more thoughtfully. It's 1995. It is directed by Tom DiCillo, who's done work with, I forgot what the directors he was paired with. But he went to like NYU, I think, with other well-known people in Hollywood, and he just kind of tagged onto their movies, doing like cinematography here and everything like that. This is basically one of the first movies that he's directed, or at least he did direct. It came out, like I said, in '95. It features Steve Buscemi and in the lead role, and it is the acting debut of Peter Dinklage.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was weird. So last week's it was weird, but very good actually. But it was last week's topic was like indie films and independent filmmaking becoming more prevalent and available in the 90s or like late 80s, early 90s because of like better equipment that was more consumer friendly, I would say. It's so like you didn't have to necessarily go to a studio to make a film. You could kind of work your way around things and get it done on your own.
Sure.
And this is one of those films early in all these people's careers. And it has to do actually about making like an independent film. So they kind of cut in and out of different, it's almost, it like place pieces in time almost. They like do like dream sequences kind of thing. It's hard to explain, but very good actually. This is one of the better movies we'd watch for my film class. Steve Buscemi, was weird seeing him that young with all this hair. He's got, I don't know if you guys want to look up the movie poster, but
Yeah,
he
I'm
has
looking it up
like
now.
hair down to his shoulders. Very odd. I don't know how old he was when this was made, but yeah, definitely a good movie. I think I watched it on YouTube. I think that's the link my teacher or my professor gave me. So if you look up Living in Oblivion on YouTube, you can find it. It's only about 95 minutes, I think. But yeah, I would recommend that for sure. That was good. And then the other thing I watched yesterday for my film class was the first episode of Battlestar Galactica, like the newer one. That's like an hour and a half, because we were learning more about kind of how Hollywood has changed to more sequel-based stuff and franchises, and also television, and how that's kind of influenced Hollywood and movies and stuff like that. So that's what we watched this week. I've seen that before, like 5 years ago. I remember trying to see if I'd like to start Battlestar Galactica, and I watched that episode and decided I didn't want to continue. This time around, I was like a little more interested, but still don't think I'll go back. It just doesn't seem like something I want to spend my time on, at least right now. So that's it for my list. Of course, I also got to Eternals. Welcome, listeners, to the main review segment here at Back Row Banter. Nathaniel, if the listener here is new, or maybe they've just forgotten, can you give them a rundown of how our review segment works?
What up, folks? If you are new or if you have just forgotten how the review segment works here at Back Row Banter, is that it is split into two different sections. There is the non-spoiler section, and then there is the spoiler section. In the non-spoiler section, we will go over the movie's IMDb page, who directed it, what year it came out, any big action stars or anything like that are in it. I guess stars beyond just action stars. I don't know why I limited myself just to action stars there, but whatever.
Strictly an action podcast.
Yeah. Trying to keep it casual. Yeah, so then go around afterwards, kind of give our initial thoughts on the movie. We'll then go around to talk to everyone again, and we'll have to decide if we would recommend the movie, yes or no. Has to be yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet. From then on, it's going to be the spoiler section. Pretty much speaks for itself in that we'll go into any big spoilers and our deeper thoughts about the movie, but don't leave. Just come back. There'll be time codes in the description, and I'll play the spoiler sound to let you know when it's safe, because we're going to rank this movie on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything that we've watched for the podcast ranked. That being said, Adam, tell us about Eternals.
I almost started talking while my mic was muted, so thank God I saw that at the last second. Anyway, this is Eternals, everybody. 2021, just a new movie straight to theaters, rated PG-13, with a runtime of 2 hours and 36 minutes, making it the second longest MCU movie to date, only being beaten out by Avengers Endgame. Let's see here. Directed by Chloe Zhao, who most recently is notable for Nomadland, which came out last year.
Best Picture winner.
Best Picture winner. Yeah, I was about to say, didn't it win the Academy Award? I did not remember because I didn't watch the Oscars last year. But anyway,
most recent Academy Award winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And her
so she's done that. She also helped write the movie. So she's wrote it with Patrick Burley, and Ryan Firpo and Kaz Firpo. So a lot of writing credits here. And then of course this movie is based on the comics by Jack Kirby. Starring, what a cast. what a cast. Let's get through them here. Gemma Chan, Richard Madden, Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, Kit Harington, Kumail Nanjiani, Leah McHugh, Brian Tyree Henry, Lauren Ridloff, Barry Keoghan, I don't know, Ma Dong-seok, and I guess we'll go Harish Patel and then Bill Skarsgård to round it off. I'll cut myself up there. Yeah, that's a lot of big names, a lot of good, fun people together on screen. Some bigger than others, but all
an ensemble
cast.
Well-known.
Yes, some would say. A lot of characters to keep track of, hence the runtime here. The IMDb summary reads as follows: The saga of the Eternals, a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth and shaped its history and civilizations. You may think I am going to continue that summary, but it ends there. So I'll have to finish the rest of that.
Wait, what was it again? Run that by me one more time.
Yeah. It literally, the saga of the Eternals, a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth and shaped its history and civilizations. That's all it says.
Okay.
It might go to the bottom of the IMDb summary.
It's going to be up there.
That was a rough one. I don't know who chooses these because it's fan submitted, isn't it? Those ones at the top.
I believe so.
At the bottom.
My dream is that the Back Row Banter podcast one day gets big enough that we get a listener that does go through and actually ranks all of the IMDb summaries, our kind of like our feelings about them. You know, they kind of go through and rank.
As long as he's got them in the quadrants that I've outlined in the past, then we're good.
Oh yeah, I'd like it to be on an entropy list format on Letterboxd as well.
Oh okay, okay.
If they could send me a link.
Yeah. Future listener, just hit us up. Let us know.
I mean, but if you're the second one, I mean, check first. You don't want to be the second person doing this because I'm only going to look at the first link that is sent to me.
Here's what I'll say about that, actually. We have a lot of debate here on pod amongst our fans about who's number one fan. Is it Brandon Wozni? Is it Ryan Foley? Is it Papa Schwartz? It's up for grabs here. I will say the first fan to compile a entropy list of all of the IMDb summaries will be number one fan.
This is a unilateral decision, and I don't know if I'm behind it yet, but right now I'm supporting it, so go for it.
Okay. Well, that's TBD. We'll put a pause on that. We'll come back to you guys next week and confirm. That's how you can claim the spot of
it's
number one
it's
fan.
just Ryan for me.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little biased, but
A little bit.
I'm Switzerland on this one, considering I live with one of the fans.
And the third one is my dad. So we're all biased.
Not that big a deal.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, this is Eternals. Let's see what happens here. So, to fill in the large gap that the summary left out here, you have the Eternals. There are 9 of them. Let's see. 1,
10,
2,
I
3,
wanna say.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 of them. 10 Eternals. These are immortal beings sent by a celestial, which we've seen in Guardians of the Galaxy, to go out and defeat these monsters called
the
Deviants that are spread out throughout the universe, basically. So they are set to Earth. These 10 protectors are Earth's protectors against the Deviants, so they are supposed to protect humanity against these giant creatures. And so they do so for thousands and thousands of years. Eventually, they kind of all go on and live their own lives amongst human civilization. And then this is kind of the events that bring them all back together.
I'm with you. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. All right, cool. It's not that hard, IMDb. It really
Get
isn't.
your
Just
shit
did that on the
together.
spot, and here we are with your piece of shit sentence. Whatever. I'm over it. Let's talk about the movie, guys. How are we feeling? Very this is probably one of the more controversial, or at least not unilaterally liked Marvel movie in recent memory.
Really?
I would say.
Yeah, this was the first one I was going into that for a while that people, I feel like in general, were like, this one's bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while since people are like, it's not necessarily worth watching this one.
Okay.
Which is what I heard from a lot of people.
Yeah, I didn't see too much of that flack, but then I guess you guys are saying, I mean, it's up there with, I mean, what's the last Marvel movie we can think of that had kind of that reputation? Maybe the first Thor, or the second Thor, I should probably say.
Age of Ultron, I know that. There's got to be one between Age of Ultron and this one. But I remember Age of Ultron not living up to people's expectations.
Yeah, probably that would be a good bet as well. I feel like Blake's right. I think second Thor is the one that sticks out in my memory as like
Thor,
the last
for sure,
one.
yeah.
Everyone was like, because I think even at the end of the day, Age of Ultron being an Avengers movie, like held like a certain amount of like still base level goodness about it. yeah. But Thor 2 is just nothing. But then they went back and kind of saved it with Endgame in some ways too.
3.
So
yeah,
how dare you?
But yeah, so I mean, how do you guys feel about it then? I mean, you guys are obviously still up on the Marvel TV shows and everything. You guys are just way more bought in than I am. So I'm curious to know how you guys felt about this.
Personally, to me, this is good, not great. This is more on par with like a Captain Marvel than a Shang-Chi. I would say that's kind of where it weighs out in my MCU rankings here. I don't think it's nearly as bad as a lot of people said it was. People saying it's boring. People saying, not a lot happens, whatever it is. I just didn't find any of that. It's just there's nothing that like excels for me in this, and I think they just have to do a ton in this movie, and I think they do about as good as a job as they could with that many characters and that big of a that long stretch of time in 2 hours and 36 minutes. They had to do a lot, and they did it pretty well overall, but it's just not the quality of MCU that I am used to at this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a tonal jump, isn't it, from pretty much every other MCU movie out there, and I feel like Marvel has backed themselves into a little bit of a corner here with that, and that when they've established the overall universe, they've established a pretty consistent, not rules, but kind of guidelines or things that make you realize that everything is in the same universe, whether that be their approach to action, something subtle like that, or the kind of overall. There's been a lot made of kind of how they all have a similar cinematographic look, but even tone and line readings, and how if you play something more off the cuff or more lighthearted or more serious, and how you raise the stakes, all those go into how a movie is perceived. And I think Marvel with their cinematic universe has made something that is so cohesive, but has now been going for 20 films. They're going to want to evolve and step out of that, and this is an example of that. And part of what comes with having a massive audience is not everyone's going to be on board with that as well too. So I think, kind of to what Adam's saying, I come down on the side of this is pretty decent, and there's a lot of things I like about it. There's some criticisms I have about it too, but I think a lot of people are either not getting the message of this being very different from the rest of the Marvel movies, but B, going in and expecting a normal Marvel movie and coming out with something completely different, and not seeing that as something different, but seeing it as a, someone making a misstep or something like that.
Hi.
This is basically like if they would take all those TV shows that we've been seeing on Disney Plus and decided to make movies out of all of them. There's just there's just so much content here that you this would almost be better off as a TV show.
I wondered if one of us was going to say that, and I had a feeling that we might.
And it's just I don't agree with people that are saying this movie's dog shit because it's not. But there's just a lot to digest here, and I think people were just expecting like an Avengers level-esque movie. And they got this is going to be the start of something new, and you need to understand that there's going to be some time that needs to be built here before we just jump into another Thanos level.
But I think it was marketed as almost an Avengers level movie in a lot of ways.
100%, because they want the money behind it. They want people to be driven into the movie theaters, and they're just trying to.
And they're using it. The cynical part of me also looks at this movie and how it's shot and I'm talking, overall style of the film and visual aesthetic, and goes, is this not Marvel trying to get in on some Zack Snyder DC dollars? Because I think if you took the two of them kind of side by side, you may notice a little bit of a crossover there.
Yeah.
In a ways that Marvel sometimes isn't.
I'll watch 4 hours of this though.
Well, yeah, I think, you know what I mean? I think I would too, though, actually. And
if I'm willing to give fucking Justice League a 4 hour watch, I'm absolutely. If somebody said this movie was 4.5 hours long, I'd be like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, I
would also watch 4.5 hours of this.
I think that's because there is a more of a devotion to character development in this one than in a greater way than your typical things. It goes surpassed. Well, I'm a guy and I make a couple cool comments and I'm really good at doing this thing, and I'll make a good quip while I'm at it. I'll make a good joke, and that lets you know I'm a good, decent person. There's a little bit more to them than this.
Facts.
To some detriment too, I think, in some ways, but I think we'll talk about that more in spoilers.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, were you gonna go to me?
No, yeah, basically.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably a little indifferent opposed to you three, just because I'm not really hip on any of the Marvel shows anymore, and I just kind of marveled out. And yeah, I don't really care for this movie. I'll probably never watch this movie ever again. And not that I don't think it's horrible, right? Obviously, I'm not saying that, but just in terms of, I think I've hit my Marvel plateau.
Your saturation point,
your quota.
Yeah, I've seen everything I need to see. I've seen all the heroes that I know, that I remember when I was a child, that I've read some of the comics on. Where I'm watching this, and I just have. To be quite frank, I don't know any of these people.
That's fair,
right?
And so I think it makes those movies
really
better
for
you.
Emotional attachment to it. Go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say, I think that's fair, and I think it makes those movies better for you. Like, why oversaturate what you already know, and get confused by dumb shit that you don't care about, and where you could just leave it as like the first 4 phases of Marvel and be like, this shit's dope, like through and through.
I do wonder how this movie would be perceived or taken in if it was not associated with Marvel or the MCU in any way. Like if it was just a thing called The Eternals and it was made by Bobby Joe's production company or
right, I got you.
And we were all seeing it for the first
A24
universe.
Yeah, and we were seeing it all, and we were all seeing it for the first time, and and it was the start of someone else's universe. I wonder what that would be like, because there's some choices in here that like are really confuse me. In terms of like what it means for the overall universe. Why they've decided to suddenly break out of that kind of overall look and form that they've gone for in the past, how that's going to tie in, to everything. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'll be interested to see what happens next. But
so yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that, and I don't think it's a broken film per se. How like Nathaniel uses for like Justice League, for example.
Sure.
Right? Like I don't think it's anything like that by any means. I just don't think I have that emotional attachment to it because I'm not knowledgeable of the characters or the heroes.
no.
I mean, now that being said, though, the cast is excellent. I think the acting is good. The diversity is awesome. It's really cool to see stuff like that now, where you just the diversity in this film, and as well as the last Marvel film we did, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, just to be able to see the diversity they've gone through, starting back from when's the first, 2008, I think, till now.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of see how that's changed as the world's changed. So I mean, you got to praise them for stuff like that.
Definitely.
But just in terms of the film and superheroes, it's like, man, I can just go watch 15 other Marvel movies. You know what I mean? If I want to watch a superhero movie and be more than satisfied.
The diversity thing was definitely a highlight for me. It was fun seeing all those different kind of cultures portrayed, or at least different parts of the world and everything like that. Like, this film felt pretty universal.
For sure.
Yeah. How are we doing on recommends here, boys? What are we thinking? I am personally recommend. I think if you like MCU, you're already in the MCU, like you've already watched all this stuff, like this is still worth watching. It's still a good, fun Marvel movie, in my opinion.
Good point.
So I'm definitely recommend. Blake?
No way, dude. No. But that's my personal preference. So
Sure.
like, to your point, how you're saying if you're already 10 toes into the Marvel universe and you're big on that stuff, then yeah, for sure, this is for you. But as far as like the casual Marvel goer and being into your Spider-Mans, and obviously it's DC, but Batman, Superman, it's just like, yeah, kind of your Mount Rushmore of superheroes, right? Like, I don't know how much you're getting out of this. And I would say you're probably okay to pass on it.
Fair. Nathaniel?
Yeah, I'm going to recommend, and I'm actually going to slightly disagree with Blake's point, in that, like, I think if you have seen a lot of the Marvel movies or something like that, or if you haven't and they don't normally, you've seen one or two and you think, I don't really like these normally, maybe give this one a shot. I think it's a different enough tone to those other ones normally that the overall formula, I think, is, or the bones of the structure are still the same, but I think it's it's a little bit of a enough of a subversion that it may keep your interest there in some ways. Or you could just, if you are completely just over superhero films in general, then you can maybe not see it. But yeah, overall, I think it's still a recommend for me.
Right. Good point.
Ty?
Yeah, I think I'm a recommend as well. I think there's just better. There's more good than bad here, and as there definitely are things wrong, but I think if you've invested this much time in the Marvel universe, it's worth a shot, because this is just going to build on something. So you got to start somewhere.
True.
I admit to being surprised. I thought we were going to come down a little bit harder on this one than we have so far, at least.
We'll see. We'll have to see when we get into spoilers here, which we're about to do, listeners. So if you've not seen Eternals and do not want to spoil it for you, go ahead and check the episode description where I've marked a timestamp you can jump to, where you'll be taken to our ranking of the movie up upon the Entropy list. Spoilers.
Shit goes down.
Shit goes down. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Over a long stretch of time. God damn, have they been on Earth for a long time.
Yeah, that was something I thought was a little goofy every now and then. But
I thought it was fun how they handled it. How Kumail Nanjiani has just been a movie star for a century.
This is my great grandpa. This is my grandpa.
Yeah.
This is my dad.
That was cool. I enjoyed that, but there was like other things that, like, I don't know. It just felt like at times they were really inconsistent with like how they felt about what they were doing for that whole time or something like that. Like, they didn't act like they'd been alive for 7,000 years sometimes, is my point. And I didn't necessarily feel that all the time. That being said, I really enjoy the plot of this movie, which is that basically we are we're sacrificing the souls of the earth to birth a celestial, and the Eternals, who are robots, are going to stop that.
Sure. That is actually, yeah, when you put it that way.
And like,
when you put it that way, this movie sucks.
and well, no,
I
then
take
you get
back
like,
my recommend, Nathaniel. Thanks.
no, I think it's awesome.
No, it is awesome.
I think I like that kind of like crazy aspect to it. It does strike me as a little bit too close to the plot of, or the kind of villainous plot of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in some areas, but
Okay. Yeah.
I like this film's emphasis on each character's interiority and kind of motivations, and we follow that quite a bit throughout this movie in contrast to some of the other Marvel films.
Gotcha. So then my question is going to be, and I guess we'll just cut to it because we're in spoilers. So like, I don't know what the fuck the post-credit scenes are about. Can anybody explain
same here.
any of that to me?
Well, Dwayne, what is his name? Mrs.
Dane.
Dane. I was,
Kit
yes.
Harington's character.
Kit Harington's
is Dane
character.
Whitman.
Yeah, Dane Whitman is the Black Knight, who is
Okay.
family is cursed with the ebony blade. I'm sure Waz will write in and inform us exactly what's going on with the Black Knight.
Right.
But he is a Marvel character.
Okay. Is that the guy who comes in like when they're on the spaceship?
No, that's Harry Styles. So
Yes.
Dane is Kit Harington, who's like Jon Snow. I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones. That was the first one with the sword. Harry Styles is, what did he say his character's name was?
Star Fox.
Yeah, he has like the leprechaun thing introduced
It
him.
was Pip, I think, was his sidekick's name.
Pip the Troll.
That's leper.
Wasn't his name Pip?
Yeah, Pip the Troll.
Oh, I have the IMDb up. It will tell me. Let's see. Harry Styles. Where is
Am I
he
just
at?
talking to no one?
He's
Star
Eros.
Oh, Arrows.
Star Fox.
I do like Star Fox.
And he introduces himself as Thanos' brother, which I don't know how that's a thing, but sure. Maybe they'll explain
okay.
it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what either of those post-credit scenes were. I just figured like they were setting up more heroes for the future, and I was like, cool.
Yeah. That's all I knew. That
But
was
the
just
MCU
all
is
shit to watch.
getting massive now with all the
Yeah.
all these characters in this movie. They just added like this. They just decided to add like 10 characters to the MCU in one go, not including Shang-Chi.
Well, some of them die.
Well, but then if you include Dane and you have the 10 Eternals, then if you include Dane and Harry Styles,
9 Eternals.
then you're back to 10. I think. I don't know how many died. Gilgamesh and Ajak. I think that's it, right?
Well, no, Icarus flew into the sun.
Oh, and Icarus flew into the sun, which was okay. Yeah, wait. Can we talk about that? I laughed when that happened.
Yeah,
Me and my
that was
friend, I
weird.
went to go see this. I was like, wait, what's going
I
on?
kind of like that they were actively just kind of being like, yeah, myths are weird and they've always been attributed to these kind of like people, and like people kind of always do variations on their names, and then even like you're realizing that you're watching this and that will also become a story within those people and everything, and like, you know, maybe this is just this version of Icarus and the Sun myth and everything.
I totally don't mind the fact that he flew into the sun. It was just I just wasn't expecting it, and then all of a sudden it cuts to him and he's just going straight in, and I just thought it was funny the way it was put together.
It was a little bit I would say felt a little bit jarring in some,
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
points. It's like, all right, see you later. Off I go
Yeah.
into the sun.
Yeah. Man. What was your guys' least favorite part about this movie? Like, there's just been so much like negative things said about it, but I really don't. I have a hard time like finding like big issues with it as to why it's not like why people think it's bad. Like, there's nothing like inherently bad to me about it. This movie, it's just like there's nothing exceptional.
I think this.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nathaniel.
I think this movie, like I said, or kind of like I was alluding to earlier, focuses a lot more on each the character motivations and personal kind of catharsis and growth of the characters as they move throughout the movie and the events. You know, you're following their emotional journey rather than kind of the plot of the movie, because I think the plot moves kind of around a lot and is very loose. It doesn't always make logical sense. And so I think that's a big thing that people who always have those kind of like, I don't want there to be any plot holes or that kind of mindset are having that kind of issue with it, because it's a lot more or a lot less accessible, I think, to them than the traditional kind of Marvel movie. So I think that I just feel like that maybe that's where some of the negative kind of reviews are coming from. But I still believe that it is just kind of I don't know. I think this movie's pretty decent. I think you know, there's parts of the plot that are kind of goofy or a little bit silly, or like, you know, why does Icarus wait as long as he does to do some sort of things?
You can kind of tell he's like kind of a jackass the whole time.
Yeah,
and then it's like I know what's gonna happen. I know he's gonna do this. I know he's gonna be a dick. And
but I also like
he just waits so long, and he's like, "Hey, I'm a dick."
But even though I know that doesn't take me too much out of the story, you know?
No, I don't think it does either.
Like,
I just wish they would have done it a little earlier. I think it would have helped progress the
I think it's because
a little bit more.
It's because I do kind of like, I like seeing how he handles the conflict and what's going on with it, and like I want to know how that's going to affect his relationship with Cersei and everyone that's going on, and how that's going to affect her relationship with Dwayne, the Black Knight, and everything too. So I feel like I got emotionally invested in the characters, and that was good.
I think some of the relationships were just a little weird.
The Sprite thing is odd.
Yeah, the Sprite thing came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I felt like that did come out of nowhere.
We were just kind of informed of it, but we never actually shown it or hinted at it before.
It
just brings it up.
It feels like they were almost having this like quota of like every character needed to have some sort of pain and reason for their big emotional arc that they were building to, and I get why that is, because they are trying to bring us in. But like, yeah, that one was a little bit weird, and then like, it felt a little bit more of like, just why is this? Why would anyone just make a kid one anyways?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
it didn't do a good enough job of answering that question. Besides, like, oh well, we just wanted to have a kid one, but then you kind of like you fall into the certain things that have to happen for the plot because of your commitments as a franchise, as in, they have to make her human at the end of it, so that if they do make a sequel, when she inevitably ages up, they won't just have to like,
she can still play the role.
Right, exactly. They won't have to recast again or something.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, she can take away her powers. She's gonna be like, okay, you're back in. Here's your powers back.
Well, yeah, especially when you write into it that your characters are unaging eternal robots, you know, which like, and I think that's also why some people may be having trouble kind of connecting with this movie too, in that like at the end of the day, all of the main characters aren't human, and so there is a certain amount of like just not caring as much,
right?
You know, about it, because and a huge part of the Marvel thing is, oh, that superhero is like me. Now it's like, oh, that robot sometimes struggles with its emotions and make friends. Like that's still a good, and still a good story to tell, and you can still engage with, but is not nearly as accessible.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Also, I don't understand why Kumail's character leaves and then just doesn't come back. I was
like
fine
that.
with him leaving, but I totally expected him to come back.
Yeah, like a la like a Han Solo in the last act.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, New Hope.
He's gonna leave and then have a change of heart and come back, and we'll see like his valet or Karan with the camera in the back as he comes in to save the day or something like that. I was like, totally expecting that, and for him to just not be in the rest of the movie felt really off to me. It just kind of felt like he was like, "See you guys." Yeah, he was against Icarus in one scene, and the next scene he's like, "All right, I agree with him. I'm out." Like, I don't know, just felt really strange.
There are some times where it just does feel like characters' motivations kind of change from scene to scene, and I do wonder if like this will be one of those movies where they are like, oh well, we had 5 hours of material and we had to cut it down to
Sure.
2.5, you know, or something like that. And
Yeah,
to Tyler's
potentially.
point, I do feel like this is a story that may have been better told with more, or may have been more effective in like a 3-part,
series?
4-part series or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I appreciate Marvel taking the swing with this one though. Like I do
definitely.
enjoy that we are kind of that they are stepping out of their kind of comfort zone, it feels a little bit. And obviously the first one through the wall always gets a little bloody with that kind of thing too. So
For sure.
Marvel has such a history of being so good about being reactive to kind of like their misses, a la, you know, kind of retrofitting Thor the Dark World into Endgame and making it more significant to the kind of rest of the plot and everything. So I'm sure they'll be able to maneuver their way around this too, but
Smooth out the wrinkles.
yeah, I mean, I do you feel like it's kind of getting unfairly kind of beat up a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because like
Definitely.
one of the funny parts too is that Adam literally brought it up at the beginning of this. This is like, I mean, for me, this I was kind of watching Age of Ultron. It wasn't something that like needed to be hated on, but it was still good enough to be up there with some of the movies that we have in the Marvel universe. And one of the biggest things this reminded me of Age of Ultron is because the Deviant kept evolving. And in my mind, he looked exactly like Ultron, and he was evolving. He was evolving like Ultron. So I was like, "Oh, well, cool. This is gonna be like this guy's gonna be a badass." And then, of course, Angelina Jolie just cuts his face into 6 pieces.
Didn't love
which
that,
I was
man.
like, "What?" I thought this was gonna be like some big battle, or like he was gonna like maybe like leave and evolve a little bit more, and then come back, and like that's maybe where you're gonna play into too. But she just shredded that dude.
He was so useless for the overall plot of the story.
Well,
that was such a waste of a time basically in this movie. He served some purpose, but then to build him up as like, oh, this giant creature that's really going to be a problem. Oh, he's got, you know, consciousness. He can talk to us now. Like, oh shit.
Right. He's able to take people's powers and everything.
Yeah, it was just like building him up to be this whole thing, and maybe a final showdown of some sort between him and I thought maybe Icarus. But and then for him to just die like that. And
Yeah, if he doesn't get shredded, he's so much more useful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
weird choice there.
That was a criticism I had with it, was I didn't fully understand the movie's reason for bringing back the deviants, if only it was going to be just to have kind of like that moment that of killing them off, because the kind of final twist is that the deviants really are innocent in some ways, and that they're not doing anything wrong. They're just doing what they were sent there to do anyways.
They're instructed to.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that is also for an awful purpose, basically. So, yeah, I go back and forth with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Overall, still, my overall impression is good, though.
I would agree.
But it's just, it does slip in a few places where it's just like, could have done that just a tad bit better.
Standout performances for you guys? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no,
cut you
you're
off
good.
there.
I didn't really have much more to say, so you're good. Good question.
I like Icarus a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Kit Harington's the best, or not Kit Harington, Richard Madden. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
I like
then,
Circe.
Yeah.
Her role's really good as well.
That
And
dude, I
yeah.
also laughed at the beginning when the first shot we have of Richard Madden, and of course the first character he talks to is named Circe. I was like, come on.
I was like, that's
Come on.
hilarious.
I thought
I started laughing. I was like, oh god.
for a film that didn't feel like it was heavily promoting Gemma Chan and her character as the main character or main kind of focus in the marketing, I thought that was interesting, and I enjoyed like I thought she was really good and had a nice presence on the film. And,
That's who I was probably going to say his best performance was her.
I really liked the work Barry Keoghan was doing as Druig, which
Yeah, I love him. I love Barry. Yeah,
He did really well.
They kind of hand
good,
wave a lot of him, just like, yeah, I was mind controlling people for several thousand years.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna worry about that. And then what else did I think? I thought Mercari, the mute one that does the sign language, she was really good. Yeah,
she did good.
I wanted to see more of that character. It kind of sucks that they didn't go back to her until like the end of the second act.
Yeah, well, she was the only one that I was like, man, what is like Mercari? Like, what is that a reference to? And then it was like, oh yeah, Mercury, like Hermes, and that's why she's the fast one. And then I really liked Gilgamesh too. I was very upset when he copped it.
Yeah, he always dies.
I was thinking. They kind of just went like, hey, we're going to take your Train from Busan character and we're just going to make him super powered. Sound cool? And he's like, yeah, all right.
He's like, yeah, but then they're like, you still die,
You still die.
Like, fuck.
But you get to, have implied romantic relationship with Angelina Jolie.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
She's got the mad weary.
Yeah. And that's awesome too, where she's kind of fighting the I don't know, the transformed deviant thing. Where I'm just thinking, I'm like, there's no way they're gonna kill Angelina.
I'm just calling him Ultron.
Like,
his name's actually Crow.
Ultron.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, something I forgot to mention about this is I actually for the first time went and saw a screening with subtitles.
Ah.
Yeah, there was one available, and I was like, fuck it, let's get some subtitles going. So I went to that one. It was great. Loved it.
I feel like that would have helped with this one.
The scene where she's fighting Crow in the cave and everything, and then like, I'm just thinking, I was like, there's no way they're gonna kill Angelina Jolie in this movie. No way in hell. I think that ticket costs way too much to do that.
Oh.
So they're like, nope, we're gonna let her survive. And sure enough.
Yeah, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I'm not begging for another one of these.
No, but I am excited to see what they do with the Black Knight.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I like Kit Harington a lot.
They mention earlier in the movie, and like I think it is Mercari. She picks up a sword and is like, it's an ebony blade, and then it was like he got another one later that his family left him. I couldn't figure out what happened there.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe there was another reference.
No, it was
Excalibur.
It was Excalibur, which is
I see. I thought he had
the ebony
Excalibur.
blade was made specifically to rival Excalibur.
Got it. I'm sure Woz will email us.
So that's why those two are gonna cross over at some point.
Got it.
But the cool thing is so the Black Knight ends up becoming an Avenger at some point.
Yeah.
And the whole point behind his sword is you're really powerful, but the person who wields it is essentially dying. The more they use it.
So like I feel like now we are past the era where the Avengers from the 90s were made into the films now or whatever, or which was in and of itself the Avengers doing the 30-year cycle from the Avengers of the 60s,
Yeah.
And so now we're like going back into the 80s ones that were really popular, i.e. the Shang-Chi's, the Eternals, the not Dark Knight, Black Knight. Yeah. So now we're getting like these versions of the characters. And again, I think kind of to Blake's point, we don't have any reference points to these as much.
No idea.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. I'll be interested to see kind of like those original fans of this era, what they think of that and everything. And 5 years from now, is there going to be a generation of kids that my first heroes were the Eternals and everything like that.
True.
I've talked a lot. I'm going to shut up now.
Kind of crazy.
No, it's all good, man.
Do we have any more closing thoughts here, guys? I don't know if there's much more we need to touch on.
No,
not that I got. I think I got all my main points across.
I believe.
Let's put her on the list
here as well. All right, well then I guess that means we can welcome back the listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the podcast. We're gonna go ahead and rank Eternals up upon the Entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the Entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of every movie we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all on one fantastic list. This is essentially how we rate our movies, rather than do it out of 5 stars, out of 10, whatever it is. We throw all the movies we review on a list and see how they compare to one another. If you'd like to reference the Entropy list for yourself, you could do so by checking the episode description, where it is linked to my Letterboxd. Entry number 77, Marvel movie number 3. Where are we putting it? Let's see where the current Marvel movies stand. We have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings at number 22, below below Boys in the Hood and above Suicide Squad. And we have Black Widow at 41, below No Time to Die and above The Rock. Anyone have an idea here? An early hunch, an early calling to a specific place in the list. I can keep filling time if we need.
I think I would probably slide it just right directly above Black Widow.
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So below No Time to Die and above Black Widow at 41.
I think so.
I like it. Not necessarily opposed. Do we have any more opinions weighing in from the other members of the squadron here? Ty, Blake?
I think I'm
Way below that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right now, I guess kind of thinking out loud, I'm contemplating if I want to put it one above Godzilla King of the Monsters, so between Godzilla King of the Monsters and The Greatest Showman, or if I want to dump it below Trick or Treat, but that's kind of hard because I don't know if I genuinely think this is better than the first Wonder Woman, and I think that's kind of the choking point I have. But I think I'm gonna dump it at 58. So below Trick or Treat and above Halloween Kills.
Noted.
I think I'm gonna actually go right with Nathaniel. I was debating on whether or not this goes above No Time to Die, but then I was also kind of like, what's the point?
Sure.
I don't have a good argument.
What a re-endorsement of our ranking system.
I just don't have a good argument for it to make like the one jump.
No, I feel you.
And I think this is slightly better than Black Widow for me. So I will agree with that.
Adam, finish off the squadron.
I'm torn here, guys. I don't know. This is such a weird one. There are parts of this where I'm like, cool, let's get it up there, and then it just kept slipping in certain spots. So
Before you put this above Black Widow, is anybody in this better than Florence Pugh? That's what you need to ask yourself.
Hey, dude, you know what? I know you love Florence Pugh, but this movie did give me Kit Harington and Richard Madden on screen in like one frame. For one frame, I could see both of them together, and that's all I needed. That's all I needed. So you know what? Just for that reason, thank you for reminding me about that. I am gonna put this at 41 above Black Widow.
41? That's fair, yeah.
Just it out for me, man. They're pretty on par with each other. I couldn't decide which I liked better, but you know what? I got that frame, and that's all I needed. So I'm gonna put it at 41 as well. Does that do 3 at 41 then?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
All right. Are we factoring in Blake's, or are we doing majority rule here? What do we want? What's the play? I feel like in the past we've done either one. Like there's precedent both ways. So I don't know what we want to do. Blake, how hurt are you with Eternals at 41?
I mean,
Where did you have it, Blake?
58.
58.
What the fuck?
The average out there would be 45.25.
I'm not willing to let it drop that much.
That put it below The Rock, Insidious, and then tiebreak with The Notebook, which I'm assuming The Notebook would probably win. So that put it at 46, basically.
Oh man, yeah, it's 3-1. We'll take it, right? House wins.
You're cool with 41?
Yeah, we'll take it.
All right, we'll lock it in then.
Just watch it again, Blake. It'll grow on you.
Yeah,
put on subtitles. Yeah.
I'll have to do that.
Like it's like Tenet.
I'll never watch this again.
I'll give it another shot too, especially with A-list. And then I'll just have to be sure of the next Florence Pugh list or next Florence Pugh film we get on here. I'm gonna have to advocate very highly.
True.
Hey, there's been an alliance formed. Let me know before, and I'll vouch.
Oh wow! See, this is what happens with just democratic election systems.
yeah, right. That's how it works.
I'm sure we'll get Midsommar on here somewhere soon, and
yeah, definitely.
And that'll get up there, I'm sure.
Just a side text. Hey man, I need a vote tonight.
Oh yeah, as a we have a bit of a fan trivia from our alleged number one fan, Brandon Wozni. He wanted us to point out that Jack Kirby, who created the Eternals in 1976 for Marvel, had already created another race of space super beings called the Forever People in 1971 for DC, which is basically the same thing. So
hilarious.
Apparently, the Eternals in and of itself is just ripped off from the DC version.
If you know, you know.
Which is made by the exact same guy.
Yeah, and it's cool that they kept referencing like Superman.
I was about to say they make a Batman reference with Alfred, and then they make another Superman reference.
Oh, they did make the Batman.
Yeah, they seem to
forgot about that one.
Yeah, they made 2 references to Justice League, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah, that was cool. I like
minor spoiler there, which we were out of. But.
Very minor.
2
dialogue.
Honestly, this is like the best
I'm not even
DC
gonna bleep
movie.
that one out. It's not worth my editing time.
This is just the best DC movie
because they because they have that in there.
Yeah.
You're allowing that to make that connection.
God
100%.
damn it, Nathaniel.
What are you talking about? That was completely flawless if you had just kept your mouth shut. Tyler and I were filling there perfectly.
It's a podcast and I like to talk. Yeah, my bad.
Listen, just because it's your podcast and you're the host and you like to talk doesn't mean that we have to fall... I don't know where I'm going with this sentence. I thought I'd figure it out halfway through. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
You can end it at any time. We're going to forgive you. All right. Well, we have our Entropy list rankings, so we can move on here. Our next topic, our next review, is going to be Last Night in Soho, which has been out for about 2 weeks now. Will be about 3 weeks when we go to review it. So still only in theaters. Maybe you've already seen it. If not, go catch a screening, and we'll review that for next week's episode. Nathaniel, you've already seen it. Do you plan on rewatching it or just going off of your original screening?
Undetermined. We'll see how the week goes, I suppose.
You have A-list. You might as well.
That is true.
In your 5 minutes from the theater,
That is true.
Yeah.
But that also requires effort.
Yeah, that's running mighty thin on effort these days, let me tell you. Yeah. All right, well, we can move on here. Do we want to do 5-star reviews? I forgot to talk to you guys about this.
Yeah, so we've received a crop, a harvest, if you will. It's Halloween. It's fall. We in the past we have we've sown the seeds for 5 stars reviews, and recently we have gone through and collected a series of 5 stars reviews.
This is the fruit of our labor.
A whole group, and much like a normal harvest, I'm going to store them away, I think, and I'm going to trickle them out. I'm going to ration.
That's a great idea.
Ration them as we go on here, so listeners can get a new 5-star review everything as we go. So this week we have a 5-star review, and listeners, if you want to have your 5-star review read out on the podcast, you just got to give us one in-app on Apple Podcasts. The easiest way to do it. You can say anything you want as long as it's 5 stars, and it will be read out. So here we go.
That's true.
It says quality movie banter. It is 5 stars, and it is given from LOL. Every game is bad. I don't know if that's some sort of
I don't know.
statement.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
who
don't
this
know
is.
if
Every game.
every game. Yep. Not
mean, that's a hot
capitalized
take.
or anything like that.
Okay.
Just yeah. LOL. Every game is bad. Anyways, y'all got some good points, and I love the energy you got going on. Keep up the good hard work. By the way, anyone that doesn't give this podcast a 5-star review, your days are numbered.
That's a direct threat from a number one fan.
Yeah, I'd like to, again, for context, make sure everyone knows I was quoting there, and I was not threatening anyone with 5-star reviews. I think, yeah, if you don't give us a 5-star reviews, your days are not numbered. I mean, everyone's days are numbered just by fact of being alive, so I guess if you want to look at it that way, you can. But,
Right.
yeah, no threats from the Back Row boys there. But please do give us 5 stars.
All games are bad. If you need help, let me know.
If you
reach out
in
Email
gaming or in life, because I'm a little concerned on both. But yes, if you do want to have your review read out on the podcast, you can do so. You know how.
Amazing. Thank you. All games are bad. We really appreciate that 5-star review. No emails this week, but if you'd like to email us with any questions, comments, concerns, grievances, anything of that sort, especially an end of the pod question is always appreciated. We love ending the show on a little bit of on a topic of some random question from a viewer like you, listener like you. So yeah, send that into backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. Follow us, share the show. Share the podcast. That comes first before you follow. You gotta share it, and then you can follow. So yeah, share with a friend, family member, maybe an eternal friend of yours, who
If you occasionally
doesn't.
find
who can,
yourself transported millions of miles away in front of a giant space god.
If you know an immortal god,
Yeah.
the chances are they have some extra time on their hands the next few hundred years. Just tell them to come give us a listen. We have plenty of options for you. Who knows how long we'll do this podcast? Probably a small chunk of their life, very fraction of their life, but they'll probably enjoy it for that small fraction.
I'm going to say it. They could listen to our entire back catalog twice.
At least. Yeah.
Minimum.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
Or they can just listen to our episode 0 on indefinite loop. For
Hey,
eternity.
if anyone,
That'd be
you
my
imagine?
purgatory or my fucking hell.
hey,
That episode is rough.
$10,000, I'll release it.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to
You don't
pay
even
it
have
off
it, I
me,
don't think. I think I'm the only one that still has
I'll
it.
get it for $10,000.
All right. You might need some help from All Games Are Bad to get into my house and steal the files, but all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, follow us on Twitter @BanterRow, on Instagram @Back Row Banter Pod, and on YouTube. We're just Back Row Banter. Please go subscribe to us there. Even if it is not your primary place of listening, we'd love the free subscription. BlakeHolder, where can the people find you?
Yo.
Man?
Letterboxd, BlakeHolder. I'm on there faithfully logging things. So we'll see if I get something that I fall in love with. I'll probably go in there and drop some thoughts down. But I don't have anything of that yet. So we'll see how Last Night in Soho goes. I know that one looks like it's got some pretty good reviews in the horror suspense community, and Nathaniel has some praise for it. So actually pretty intrigued by that. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll keep it moving. So that's all I got for you guys this week. We'll pass it on to let's go to Nathaniel.
What up, everyone? You can catch me on Twitter and Letterboxd @NSGingrich or on Instagram @NathanielG92. That's it for me. Tyler, where can the people find you?
Twitch.tv/El Trabajo87, ELTRABAJO87. I do live stream. I have been live streaming more often, and the more viewers and people just come in and chat would be dope. So you can definitely find me there. Tomorrow night, I am actually going to be playing some Call of Duty, and then I will be opening a 25th anniversary Pokemon Celebrations Elite Trainer box on live stream. So that'll be pretty fun.
So that'd be today if you're listening to this on the day of release.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if you're in the future, you're shit out of luck. Or maybe not. Take a risk. You could be doing it again,
True.
I guess.
Well, there'll be a VOD, so you can go back and watch it. So
True.
just go check it out later if you want. So yeah, I'll be doing that. So that'll be pretty fun. Anyways, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter, all Tyler Vidalis, Vidales. Adam.
You can find me on Twitter at Aish24 and on Letterboxd at Aish. I actually went back on Letterboxd this past week. Been filling out my backlog, rating all the movies I've seen over the past year that I can remember I watched and never went back and logged. Haven't been doing any reviews just because I don't have the time right now, but maybe eventually I'll go back.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I've been back on Letterboxd a little bit, adding to my watch list. Fun stuff. That app is good. I should really use it more. So
Definitely
follow me
is.
there. Yeah. Did we all go? Are we all good?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Thank you all for listening. This has been episode 78 of Back Row Banter. If you've made it this far, you got a special place in my heart. And if you left the review, if your name is All Games Are Bad, well, I think you should start hunting down those listeners who aren't listening this far. That's all I'm saying.
And all games are bad. I'm curious to know, since you think all games are bad, like write in one time and just give like your top 3 games, just out of curiosity, and we'll judge them very harshly.
I think I might be able to make that happen.
It's just a hate letter.
I fucking
Anyway.
hate Clue.
Join
hate
us
mail.
next week for Last Night in Soho. We'll be RB.
Whatever, everyone. Be excellent to each other. We will be RB.
Thanks for coming in, stopping by, listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. Anything you can do to help us grow, we would love, appreciate, and everything you do to help us do so. And spread that love. You never know where somebody's been in their day. And yeah, we'll be RB.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. Don't have too much this week. Holidays coming up. Everybody has something to be thankful for. We'll be RB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
So I finally got a chance to play the new COD last night.
Yeah. How
Oh,
is it?
thank you.
It ain't it.
Yeah, dude. I'll never purchase another Call of Duty ever again.
It was.
I definitely will.
I was-
Given like how many hours I've put into Call of Duty, but I refuse to buy this game.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it, and then my buddy on Friday was like, "I ain't got shit to do today," and I was like, "Oh, you should buy COD and play." And then I was like, "Fuck, well, I guess I'll get it too." I had to do homework, but then once I did that, I was like, I got the rest of the day, and so I bought it. Started the download, went to class, came back from class, and my PC just was not working. My
Yikes.
mouse or the keyboard was the only USB that would work. Every single other USB port wouldn't work.
That's just never a good feeling.
It's the worst. It's the fucking worst. I hate PCs and I hate Windows.
Yeah.
I've never had this many issues with a computer, with a Mac.
Fatality. This guy.
I mean, I guess it's just, that's the one half dozen or the other. You get your gives and
Yeah.
your takes, but obviously the customization off a fucking PC is just
Definitely.
exponentially more.
What's the new COD? Even called?
It's called Vanguard.
Nah, it should be all right.
It's
What
another
time
World
period?
War II.
Yeah,
That sounds.
that's like my main reason for not buying it.
You don't like World War II?
right.
I'm just not a fan of like playing in that era. When it comes to like guns and shit, I like seeing like what kind of developments we have and stuff like that.
Sure.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Favorite
Oh,
COD, fellas?
COD 4.
Modern Warfare 3.
Actually, I like
Modern,
that answer, Ty. It's not too common.
Modern Warfare 2 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
I think
Modern
those
Warfare.
are probably your most common. COD 4, and then Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
God, COD 4 is so good.
Yeah, you never really get 3 too much anymore. But
Yeah, MW3 kind of get overlooked.
dude, it's like it's something that like set my like COD career off, which is why I love it so much.
Mhm.
Like I got sent
are-
invitations for like tournaments and shit like that during
Right.
Modern Warfare 3.
And Modern Warfare 3, what? That's like what, 2010?
No, Modern Warfare 3 is 2011, I want to say.
Yeah.
2011 or yeah, it was 2011 because then I remember Black Ops 2 being 2012.
It was 2011 because I can't. It was my freshman year of college.
Yeah, and I like the story we just told. I went to a
Hey.
community college.
Nathaniel, it was your freshman year of college. What grade do you think I was in when Modern Warfare 3 came out?
6th.
Well, you were 11, so yeah.
7th.
However you're old and however you are, or whatever grade
I
you're
was-
in when you're in 11.
What are you, 6th?
I was in 5th grade.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Crazy.
Like I wasn't even in middle school yet.
And I was popping off, bro.
And I was going crazy, dude. You had no idea the clips I was hitting.
Yeah.
I was actually I've always been like good at Call of Duty. When I was playing COD 4 when I was like 7, I was better than my brothers and all of their friends.
Weird flex, but
No,
okay.
I mean, I believe it, though. I believe it. I was telling you guys. And you had maybe even played with them before, Adam, but like me and a few of my buddies, we played when we were gaming Siege a ton.
Mhm.
Like nightly, like we end up
Yeah.
befriending like a guy who's like in 6th grade.
I do remember that kid. No, I do remember that kid. I played with him, like, once or twice. I
Yeah,
was like,
man.
who the fuck did Blake just invite into this party chat?
Yeah, dude. And now it's like whenever I'm on Siege, you just
And
message
then-
me
and then
like
someone-
6.
Yeah, someone said a fucking, I think the F word, and we were just like, can we say that? Like, oh shit, my bad. Kid was
Dude,
like,
you guys
I
are
don't
like
care.
that kid's dad.
Yeah, it's funny, dude. But
I
that's the
remember
culture
being
of
that-
video games, man.
Well, I
It's
just
so
I remember
cool,
being
bro.
that young and being in those
Right.
parties with like
Especially
guys who were
like
twice
back in
my
the
age
day
almost.
when lobbies like were still like not that bad.
Just wild though.
Yeah, like you would still catch like wild shit, but you could actually meet like people.
True.
And
Yeah,
like dude,
exactly.
I have met people that I have gone on like a weekend trip to go meet because I met them through Xbox.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. Definitely.
I just hung out over the summer. I still keep in contact with him, but like a guy I met in 5th grade who lived in like closer to Chicago. I ended up we would just play all the time together, and so like our like friend list merged basically. Like I was just playing with
Sure.
all of his friends,
For
and
sure.
so I met up with all of them in like I think it's where does he live? I forgot, but it's about 30 minutes from my house, closer to Chicago, like kind of on the
Okay.
outskirts.
Yeah.
And I just saw him again for the first time since like 8th grade over the summer.
Yeah. Stories like that are dope, though, man. Like that's like
yeah.
what friendships are about, bro.
Like
You know?
he'll probably be
simplest
he'll
things.
probably be almost a lifelong friend. Like
Right.
I don't
It's
see
crazy.
myself losing contact with him.
Yeah, I was like, you're never gonna delete him off whatever
Yeah.
gaming system you have. You know what I mean?
It's like I
cool,
almost grew
dude.
up with him, like
Yeah.
playing video games,
Mhm.
like just talking and shit.
Yeah, I was
Crazy
always playing
times,
with my IRL friends, so
Wow, you're really cool. I was in the
I
5th
never
grade.
met
Loser.
anyone.
Antisocial as fuck.
We were just all in the party chat.
Yeah.
No, there's like three
I
of
was-
us. There's like three of us that lived on like the same cul-de-sac, so you could always be like, "Hey, get on at like 10 or whenever."
Sure. Yeah.
I think my favorite memory is LAN parties.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. you
Oh,
brought
I
that.
miss that shit. I was thinking
I
about that.
wonder how
actually
much those
yesterday.
just killed our parents like in like power
Oh my
bill for
God.
like a week or whatever.
Sure.
I couldn't imagine because like we would always go over to Brett's house, and his parents would just leave us the fuck alone.
You just have 3 consoles set up.
Dude, there was
all networked together.
there was 4 TVs, 4 Xboxes, and 16 dudes in this basement.
Oh my God.
And it was
Isn't
Halo.
Crazy, just like how easy it is to make friends, like as a dude. It's
And,
just like, oh, like that's cool.
Oh my
we
God,
agree
yeah.
on something, lifelong friends.
And it's like the dumbest shit.
A
Yeah.
lot of
It's like,
times just
yo, I put a
proximity
fucking
too.
boxing glove in a microwave, and you'll never believe what happened. And your boy's gonna be like, "What?"
Right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday, like LAN parties, because I think the last one I had ended up being about 3 years ago, because it was when Call of Duty World War II came out, and it was
Last
also
COD I
the
played,
time.
man.
Yeah, it was also when Fortnite had just come out and was huge. Like that, it was like a month and a half after Fortnite had
You
come
did a
out.
LAN
Yeah.
party as recently as when Fortnite was coming out?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
I mean,
senior
that's
year.
What?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that sounds right. 17, 18,
Yeah.
something like that.
I haven't done a
Yeah.
LAN
I was
party
still
in
in high
like what
school, I
feels like a decade and a half.
Like genuinely, yeah.
Guys, let's have a LAN party.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
A
down.
back row
The
banter
best
LAN
part,
party.
So
the
down.
best
A
part
back
is
row
I
LAN
already
party?
I have my own 4 TVs and like you don't need to bring your shit.
We'll do a
Right.
we'll do a back row live
Yeah.
live stream.
Dude, I'm so down for this.
The thing is now, it's like so many like Wi-Fi companies have like data caps on Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Like you're gonna
yeah,
fly
fucking-
through
Oh,
that
it's
shit in
crazy.
a LAN party, dude.
No, I had quite a few LAN parties in high school.
Yeah.
I'd say like 5 or 6.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. It's like I remember his mom making like pizza rolls and shit, and like, dude, we would just have like cases of fucking Mountain Dew, and it was in a basement, and like we had like small fans in the windows for for like better ventilation, and like, dude, we were just it was insane. I'm like, what kind of parent is letting this fucking happen in their basement? And we're just,
I
dude,
would
we're
let that
fucking yelling
I can remember.
absurd shit at each other, and like, dude, it's incredible.
I can remember pulling like 16-hour like Guitar Hero 2 sessions and just go like plowing through a case of like Dr. Pepper like by myself.
We used to play Guitar Hero too.
Yeah, and it would just like I just wonder how much sugar I intook.
Oh
during
god.
that time.
God.
Yeah.
Those were the days, dude.
Just a ridiculous time.
Do
to
they
be
still
alive.
make Guitar Hero games?
No,
I don't know
way.
when the last one came out. They made a Rock Band about 2 years ago.
Really?
When did...
remember how massive that was for a bit?
Oh my god.
No, that was crazy, dude. Yeah.
That was everyone
No, that
played
was
Guitar
crazy.
Hero.
Those are
I
gonna
thought it was the lamest shit.
those are gonna come back
No,
in like 2
no
years.
way.
I really
The
did.
last-
Nathaniel.
At
It'll-
first.
the
last
circle of life.
console version.
It'll come back somehow, some way.
The last console version of Guitar Hero was released in 2010.
Wow,
Oh my god, that sounds
Crazy.
so long.
it's over 10 years.
When did...
Yeah.
It's the last time I had a LAN party. Yeah, those will come back unironically. It's the TikTok generation will find them in a minute here.
One of my favorite games came out in 2011.
Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, a different one.
What are we thinking of?
Skyrim.
Oh,
okay.
Because it was that was like
God,
one of the
was that
last
2011
Yeah,
too?
that
Yeah,
was like one of the
wasn't it?
last midnight releases I went to at like a GameStop.
You know what I remember about Skyrim?
Ooh.
Yeah, it was because the day that it was released, we marathoned. Do you remember the Dante's Inferno game? Yeah, we marathoned
Oh,
that
yeah.
and
I
played that.
remember
For some reason, I don't know why that was the game we picked, but we played that entire game like up until we could go and it was released, so we could go pick it up, and then picked it up and came back and immediately played like Skyrim through the night.
Dude, we went to go get Skyrim. We had a LAN party, and because I remember there was like 5 of my buddies that went to my dad's house, and we all set up TVs like an hour before we went to Crystal Lake to
Sure.
go get this game, and we had like 4 TVs and 4 dudes plus me and Justin, so like 6 people total in my dad's basement, 6 different Xboxes because you have to have a different Xbox per
Right.
profile.
Right.
And dude, I think the longest kid went for like it was like 18 hours or some shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Jeez,
god.
man.
Yeah, he's my buddy Ryan Mayfield. I don't know if you'll ever listen to this, Ryan, but you're a beast.
This is not Ryan Foley. I hate that guy.
No, yeah, he's garbage.
I like you, Ryan Foley.
But yeah, dude, it was incredible. I think I went to like 12 and then like took a nap because like the sun was out and I hated my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I woke back up from like a 6-hour nap or something like that. My boy was like still on. I was like, what the fuck?
No way.
Yeah,
I was
I
like, you're
remember the
insane.
days of like COD releasing and like people like not going to school the next day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
try and one-shot the
Actually,
campaign.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
intentionally skip school when Modern Warfare 3 came out, but I was sick. I had gone to our 5th grade class had like our field trip to like one of those like Boy Scout camps that you would go to. It was like called Camp Edwards, where they got like archery and that kind of shit. We only went for
Sure.
a day, but I had bad allergies, and so the next day I just woke up super fucking stuffed, couldn't like fucking like move, but COD had just come out, so I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to school.
Yeah.
So I just played MW3 all day. It was amazing.
Yeah. Crazy times, man.
Bring me back, dude.
Yeah. They used to force you. You couldn't even be in a party. Remember, you had to be in game chat to
Well,
play
yeah,
those
for
games?
S&D. Well, only
Yeah.
for S&D.
It
But
was
yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. God, the shit talking.
Oh my
God, the
God,
shit
man.
talking. It was so nice.
Just insane.
My parents would always be so pissed at me. I'm like, they're saying the same shit. They're saying worse things than me.
Yeah. That was the beginning of the internet, man. And now we have meme advancement, as we talked. Was that like last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Just
the evolution.
advancement of memes, yeah. And here we are.
On the advancement of memes.
In case you guys are curious, Rock Band 4 released in 2015. That was the last kind of game of that genre to come out.
Fucking drums and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was playing that and like I didn't even listen to rock music. Like that's how big those games were.
Well, actually, I mean, a lot of the songs that I know as classic rock songs, I know from Guitar Hero.
Oh, yeah, that's like 98% of my rock catalog
Yeah.
is from Guitar Hero.
Those
is
are
from
got
Guitar Hero.
those playlists surely have to be on like Spotify or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah, I guarantee you. Yeah.
That was actually one of the things that a lot of people, when the Guitar Hero or Rock Band 4 came out in 2015, they were like, "These songs are garbage." Like it's like Imagine
really?
Dragons, and it's just not fun at all to play because it's just like pop music almost. There's not a lot of rock anymore. They already played all the good rock songs in the other games, so they were just doing new music, but it was just not the same.
Yeah.
Supposedly the like spiritual successor that Beat Saber is supposed to be awesome, but I'm
Oh,
Beat
yeah.
Saber is
Mm.
fucking awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I have a Oculus Quest 1, not the second one, and Beat Saber is by far my favorite game to play on there.
How often do you play that?
Not often at all.
I was gonna say, like,
But honestly, like I don't regret my purchase because it is fun to just bring out when I feel like, all right, let's play VR. And I feel like I paid what $400 for it. I think. I feel like I got my money's out of it. And I've
Right.
had it for
what is your
2
percentage
years.
of using it to play games and VR for porn?
I've only tried VR porn once. Did not like it. Have not gone back.
So you can actually do that on there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Talk about the advancement of the internet, fellas. It's crazy.
Oh man.
Memes and porn, man, they're just advancing too quick for me to catch up.
Yeah. It's almost like that Blade Runner 2049 scene.
Our porn is too advanced, just like our memes.